What's up, YouTube? Diggy546, and I'm gonna make this part of the video pretty quick. I usually have so much time to just look at prospect after prospect after prospect for these drafts, but I didn't have that much time this year, so you guys are only going to get about 3 rounds from me. Starting off with the first round, Joe Burrow's going number 1, and after that is pretty much a mystery. It could be a quarterback taking it number 2. Could be a quarterback taking it number 3. We could get Chase Young. That's best case scenario. I don't know if Chase Young in the long run will be a better player than Isaiah Simmons, but I know Chase Young's position is more valuable. But that's best case scenario. Probably won't happen. So probably how this will happen is first pick will be Joe Burrow. Second pick will be Chase Young. Third pick will probably be Jeff Okudah or Tua. The Lions may take a quarterback. The Lions will probably trade that pick. And then fourth pick, we're going to be sitting there and we're going to be looking at Isaiah Simmons. We're going to be looking at Jedrek Wills, Mekhi Becton, even Andrew Thomas. I've heard some Giants fans say Derek Brown. That sounds absolutely disgusting to me. That sounds awful to me, but some guys like Derek Brown. So you're going to be looking at a lot of good players there at number 4. Derek Brown, I don't need him, but he's a great player. We don't really need another defensive lineman though. So let's just look at Jedrek Wills, Isaiah Simmons, Mekhi Becton. All of those guys. Let's even throw Jeff Okudah in the lineup. Jeffrey Okudah, his technique is already at an NFL level. He's athletic. He can jump. He can play man. He can play zone, off, press. He can pretty much play, he's an extremely polished corner already in college. He's someone that I did get to watch some film on. And Okudah is the real deal. I see him as potentially an all-pro corner. So an all-pro corner is really, really tough to pass on, especially when you have a group of corners already that you don't know how good they're going to be. But of course, if we get Byron Jones, he's pretty much off the table. So let's just say we get Byron Jones. So Okudah's off the table. Jedrek Wills. I don't understand why these people think that there's some cluster of offensive tackles. To me, it's nowhere close. Jedrek Wills, I have never seen an offensive tackle. I'm not an NFL scout, but I've never seen an offensive tackle with feet like this, with hands like this, that just looks like he was born to play the position. Jedrek Wills is a day one starter, and the only offensive lineman I've seen with better tape than Jedrek Wills is Quentin Nelson. And Quentin Nelson, everybody was already calling him a Hall of Famer before he got in the league, and he's on track to do it right now. Jedrek Wills, I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer, but his hands and his feet and his technique, his arms, his strength at the point of attack in the run game are pretty much unmatched in the draft. Mekhi Becton is a complete mauler, but his technique gets sloppy. He's like a big Eric Flowers. He'll be a lot better than Eric Flowers, by the way, but his technique can kind of get sloppy. Jedrek Wills is that number 1 offensive tackle. You put him at left tackle, he's going to be there for 10 years. And then Mekhi Becton, like I said, he's a little sloppy. He's huge. He'll be opening up a lot of run game, a lot of holes in the run game. And if you can get him some technique, and he's already got great feet, he's already athletic. If you can get him some actual technique, then nobody's going to get past him. It's going to be really hard for anybody to be able to beat this guy because he's already an athlete. So that's a potential pick. And pretty much at number 4, I want a slam dunk. So when you look at Isaiah Simmons, base linebacker, 239 pounds, running a 4.39 at 239. He's running a 4.39. We already know he can move side to side. He lined up his slot corner. He lined up his safety, both safety positions, He lined up outside corner on the outside boundaries. He plays press coverage. He backpedals and turns his hips like a cornerback. The guy is 239 pounds. He makes plays in the run game, shoots gaps. He engages in blockers. He'll throw guys out of the way. I mean, he can play all over the field. He can line up on the edge, and he can pass rush. He can get his arms on guys and have rip moves and dip moves and get around the corner like an edge rusher. So, to me, Isaiah Simmons is the pick, and I absolutely hate it because Jedrek Wills is so good. But Isaiah Simmons has to be the pick here because Isaiah Simmons, Joe Judge wants a chameleon defense, Patrick Graham wants a chameleon defense, and Isaiah Simmons can play everywhere. And you put him with Byron Jones, they can switch positions. Imagine Byron Jones coming out, lining up at outside corner, Isaiah Simmons lining up at linebacker, and him backpedaling in, and Byron Jones coming to take his spot, or Jabril Peppers coming down to take his spot. You have so many guys that can play different positions, and that is going to be scary for opposing offenses. And I think you need that. You need an explosive player in Isaiah Simmons, and I think once he gets here, he's a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. He's going to defend these tight ends. How many years do we have to watch tight ends come across the middle, wide open, or just completely just out-athlete and outrun our linebackers year after year after year? How many times do we have to watch it? That will get shut down with Isaiah Simmons. It'll get shut down with Byron Jones. And we're looking at a completely different defense. And if we can play some defense, that's going to make everything better. The Giants, so many times last year, had great offensive games. Daniel Jones threw 5 touchdowns. Threw 4 touchdowns and lost to the Lions. So we got to go defense first round. Defense was the weakness last year. As long as we find somebody serviceable in the offseason, we got to go defense first round. Second round, obviously, I can't put as much time into the second round pick because I did the first round pick. I don't really know these guys as well as I know the first round guys. But I'm looking at Denzel Mims. Denzel Mims, receiver, 6'3", running a 4.38 out of, I can't remember his school. But Denzel Mims, absolute beast. You watch his tape. He can run routes, get quick in and out of breaks. And he's 6'3" and running a 4.38. Take the guy. Don't think about it if he's still there. If not, take an offensive tackle or take another receiver. There's so many receivers in this draft. In third round, I'm thinking about just looking at corner or a depth outside linebacker because we're pretty just thin at those positions. Maybe even a tight end. Also, running back might be on the table, power back, but we can go a lot of different places. But I'm thinking the first 2 rounds, we need to go defense first round. And if there's an offensive tackle that falls to that second round, go ahead and grab him. If not, take the best receiver available. And that's what I think the Giants should do for the draft. Dave Gettleman, I hope you're listening. I really hope you are. And I hope you were lying about that cap space. And you better, if Dave Gettleman comes out and he drafts Derrick Brown, the rage that I will have on this channel will be beyond comprehensible. The rage will be unmatched if he drafts Derrick Brown. If he drafts Derrick Brown better have 15 sacks his rookie year, and that's no joke. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Diggy546. Tell me what you guys think about this draft. Tell me what you think we should do it for. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here.